You know, back in April, there was this pause, and back then, Peter Navarro, White House senior trade counselor, said we get the potential here to do 90 trade deals in 90 days. As you look at the graphic, the trade deals that have been finalized, there have really only been 7 official agreements that have been reached.
Uh-oh, first Fox rejects Pete Hegseth's ridiculous new press policy.
It doesn't seem like the whole story is being told to our viewers here. What they're really doing, they want to spoon feed information to the journalists, and that will be their story. That's not journalism. Journalism is going out and finding the story and getting all the facts to support it. And no one's going to walk in and bang on a door of a 4-star general or senior civilian policy leader in the Pentagon. I never had that, but I did have journalists chasing a story of something that was going on in the Army, and those things were legitimate. And if anything, what would frustrate us in times is we didn't beat you to it. And something bad is happening, and we're getting our act together to do it. And sometimes, you know, well, let's wait a couple of days before we talk about that, and you guys are on it. And that's journalism.
And now reporters are sounding the alarm that prices are on the way up while his poll numbers are heading in the opposite direction. Could Trump be losing his safe space? Not sure how that's going to go down in the White House.
So for the people who look at that and say, this is a danger sign looking at 2026, what do you say to them?
Sure. So first of all, the deals we've reached cover a huge percentage of U.S. trade. With Canada and Mexico, you know, a lot of the trade between Canada and Mexico is flowing quite freely. Canada had some retaliation, which they removed. We had Turkey that had retaliation they removed. So there's actually no more retaliation in the world except for China.
While on air this week, senior Fox Business correspondent Charles Gasparino went off script and pointed out that in recent Morning Consult polling, while Trump has negative net approval in all battleground states. Wisconsin, he's down 8. Michigan, he's down 5, with others slipping across the board. Nationally, his approval is at 45%, down from 50% in December. Meanwhile, many Americans, well, they're blaming him and Republicans in Congress for the ongoing federal government shutdown. So the narrative that Fox has long curated, that Trump is winning, Trump is dominant, Trump is the incinerator of all opposition and could do no wrong, well, it's now being questioned from inside the fortress.
Yeah, and right now there's a 50% tariff on coffee from Brazil. That's the nation's biggest coffee supplier, and it's Joe Coffee's biggest supplier. Take a look at this bag right here. The container that bag came in is costing this New York coffee shop and roaster $68,000 more than it did over the summer, so he had to pass some of that along, telling customers this. We decided to add a 1.5% surcharge to all transactions rather than implementing an item-based price increase because this reduces the burden on any individual customer. We spoke to some coffee drinkers about the higher prices. Watch what they had to say. Stuart Varney will not buy coffee out. He thinks it's a waste of money.
I agree.
So you've never bought a coffee in a restaurant?
I wouldn't say that I've never bought it, but I definitely prefer buying it at home.
We used to call Starbucks $4, but that was a few years ago. Now it's like $9.
Yes, it's terrible. And you have to go out and drive to get it. You have to have it delivered. It's not convenient.
Yeah, so this is the raw material. This is the green coffee that is tariffed. Before the tariffs, this cost $2.77 a pound. Today, it's $3.81. So it's quite an increase. And the CEO of this store says the minute the tariffs come down or off, he's taking off that surcharge. But in the meantime, customers are still paying up. Not all, but many. Stuart?
We'll always pay up for caffeine. That's the way it works.
And as I mentioned, this comes as we've witnessed a seismic shift in their coverage across the board regarding the cost of living, prices going up, something that even Marjorie Taylor Greene can no longer spin in Trump's favor.
My big warning is we have to take this very seriously, because if Republicans are responsible for doing nothing about this and regular innocent Americans' health insurance premiums double, they're not going to be able to pay their rent. They're already getting crushed with the cost of living expenses that the Biden administration created but have not come back down. Food prices have gone up this year. Even the Department of Agriculture put out a report on that in August. And there's many other problems. Even potentially that we could see a slowdown in the economy next year. And I pray to God, not a recession. So this is extremely serious, Dr. Gina. Everyone should be talking about it. And here's where I'm upset. Republicans are doing nothing. The House is not in session, which I think is inexcusable. Mike Johnson should be calling us back because we should be working.
The internal cracks, however, are indicative of a broader movement away from MAGA messaging. Just look at the response from farmers who overwhelmingly support Trump after Trump has crippled their industry, only to shell out billions to bail out Argentina, who in turn are planning on working with China on soybeans. I mean, you could not make this up.
How is this Argentina rescue package America first? And is this rescue package meant to help President Milei's party in the coming election?
No, it's really meant to help a good financial philosophy where Argentina can, after 20 years of disaster, because it was very successful at one point, and it can be again, like Venezuela. Venezuela was very, very successful, and now it's a dictatorship. We want to help Argentina, and we want to always help ourselves, but we want to help Argentina.
Okay, so Scott, what do you think of that?
Well, I think you've got a bigger problem. I think somebody needs to ask Argentina what they did with the $18 billion that China gave them in 2009 that they haven't paid back yet. So now in 16 years, Argentina's got $38 billion of money to prop their economy up while it does nothing but knife me at home. They filled my orders in China. They will fill the bean meal orders. I mean, in what world is it good to loan people, the worst person in the world, to pay back money to prop up their economy, to protect hedge funds who are deeply immersed in the Chicago Mercantile Exchange? Every morning when I watch the market, they tell me if the funds are long or short, and that tells me what my it's not supply and demand, it's what the funds do. So how is this a good deal for me at all?
What if the administration is giving you and other farmers a bailout? Does that help?
Well, I want trade, not aid.
Hey, it's Ranking Member Angie Craig here, and we just heard that Republicans are actually, Scott Bessent, the Treasury Secretary, just said that actually they may give $40 billion to Argentina instead of the original $20 billion of taxpayer money that they proposed. This is such a slap in the face to America's family farmers who are hurting like crazy right now because of Trump's trade war. Soybean farmers in particular have lost all of their business. China has taken that business to Brazil and guess where? Argentina. So Donald Trump and Republicans are literally bailing out our competitors and leaving family farmers in the dust. It's egregious.
And yet, still, those drinking the Kool-Aid will have you believe that he is America first. Messaging that used to echo across the Fox airwaves, but not anymore. Conservative voices are the ones saying, quote, this is worrying. That kind of breach doesn't happen unless the pressure is real. Also, it's not happening in a vacuum, right? There are numerous other signs. You look at GOP strategist Karl Rove, who appeared on Fox recently and labeled Trump's plan to deploy the National Guard in cities as a loser.
58% of those surveyed said they believe that it should send troops only for external threats. However, we're deeply, and the Republicans are 51%, Democrats 72%, and other their way to get it independence is 53%. But if you look deeper, there's another question, which was, should the president send troops even if a governor objects? That was 37 yes, 48 no. And it was 70-18 among Republicans, 13-79 among Democrats, and 28-50 among independents. So, yes, we don't like him. We believe he shouldn't deploy. If a governor objects, though, if the partisanship starts to be felt. Republicans say, yeah, override the governor. Democrats say no. And independents tend to side with the Democrat voters and say, no, I don't think that should happen. So this ultimately, I think, will tend to be a loser if the question is, should the president do this or should he have done it? On the other hand, it might get him a slight improvement among the people saying, who are concerned about crime, by saying, well, at least he's taking action. But overall, I think this is going to end up being a loser for the president.
And this all matters because for Trump, he wants to control the media. It's part of his broader plan, hence the lawsuits and further threats against networks who dare push back. But now, even the biggest enablers of his alternate facts are losing faith.
Want to stay plugged in? Become a subscriber to our Substack at MeidasPlus.com. You'll get daily recaps from Ron Filipkowski, ad-free episodes of our podcast, and more exclusive content only available at MeidasPlus.com.